Hi everyone, my name is Deeksha Mehta from Leapscholar, and in this video I am going to be disclosing the 5 most effective habits of language learners that you can use to scale up your level of English. So the first tip that I'm going to give you is no points for guessing, reading. I couldn't possibly begin a video about language learning without reading, could I? So yes, reading is indeed a life skill which can change your life. Especially if you're preparing for the IELTS and TOEFL exam, I would recommend you inculcate the skill on a daily basis. So try to put it in your routine. For example, you could begin with smaller articles. Let's take the editorial section of any newspaper. And then slowly, when you build your reading stamina, you could start reading short stories, then jump to novels, then move on to non-fiction, maybe autobiographies, and the list is endless. Next, the second tip that I can give you is again reading, but this time combining it with speaking to make it much better. How? Let me explain it. So, whatever you read, imagine you've read something today, you need to recite that to, let's say, a friend or a sibling or your parents. So that ensures that the vocabulary that you've learned that particular day, you try and utilize it, shifting that from our passive vocabulary to our active vocabulary. You must be wondering what am I talking about? So let me ask you this question. Has it ever happened with you that you start speaking and the words all vanish and you just can't think of the correct word? Well, this happens because despite knowing thousands of words, our memory just stores a few words in our active memory, in our pool of active memory. So all of us know a lot of words which we can understand when we read and listen. But can we think of these words when we write and speak? That is the pool which is called the active vocabulary. So to shift your passive vocabulary to your active vocabulary, you can do this. You can mix two skills, read and then ensure that you speak. So you put some input and you try and put that out as well, ensuring that you use those particular words in the same day so that you remember them and you can use them as well. Tip number 3 is listening. So all effective learners who have grown to be fluent in their respective language definitely have included listening in their daily routine. So I'm not talking about mindlessly listening to, let's say, the Friends series. That is not what I mean. What I mean is listening to that accent which is your target accent. So the accent which you face difficulties in. For example, as an Indian speaker, I believe all of us are very comfortable with the American accent. But when it comes to the British or the Australian accent, we may need some work. So why not try and put some British and Australian series as part of your listening skill. It could be the Jamie Oliver show for all I care. That could be interesting as well. Now moving to tip number 4, which is again speaking. So you must make sure and try and speak every day in your target language, which is English. So you need to try and find as many opportunities as you can. If there are none, then create those. Take initiatives and make sure you find people who you can have a conversation with, who you can have a chat with. So it could be your colleagues, your friends again. If you don't have anyone, grab your pet and go ahead, let your heart out. It could turn into a therapy session as well. Alright, and now finally coming to my 5th tip, which is writing. Now you must be wondering that, let's say I have already cleared my high school or my college, what could I possibly need to write? So very easy, a simple way of trying and including writing in your daily routine would be to maintain something like a journal or a diary entry. So let's say every day at the end of the day, you could sit with a journal and just dictate your day to the diary and try every day when you do that to improve, use some new word, at least one new word every day. And if you struggle with that, then you could use thesaurus.com to upgrade the vocabulary that you already know. Alright guys, those were my 5 tips that I have seen all of my effective learners use. Do let me know if you have any more strategies by commenting in the box below, and do not forget to like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye.